Hey everybody, and this is a playoff game between the Rams and the Bengals. Let me see if I can get some other people in here. So just tuning in now, the Rams are up 17-7. The Rams were the official number 9 seed, and the Bengals were the number 8 seed. So they're battling out to see which one makes the playoffs. Let's take a look at the. I think we have the SOMSFA standings here in my recent documents. Let's see. So yeah, the Rams number 9 had 9-7. The Bengals number 8 at 9-7. So 2nd and 5 here. The Bengals are on the back foot. The Rams going with their patented 4-1-6 defense to take advantage of their 2 extra DBs that are rated 5 or above. Inside run to Christian McCaffrey out of a 3 wide set, but there's no linebacker there to support, so that's going to go 17 yards. 1:30 left in the second half. In the second quarter. So let's see, 17-7. He needs to get into field goal range here. Let's see who got the ball first. Ball possession. So it's like the Rams got it first. Went 3 and out. 2 3 and outs. And then they went field goal, touchdown, interception, touchdown. So they've been moving the ball. The Bengals, on the other hand, went punt, touchdown, interception, fumble. So 3 turnovers in a row that have, kind of turned the tide. It looks like the Bengals were up 7-0, and then the Rams scored the next 17 points, thanks in some part to those turnovers. Oh, we're stuck here. Ugh, it says Jeff. I guess they've had a couple of problems. I think this is the second IP or the second game ID I have seen. So let's exit. Take a look at the league file. Let's take a look at if these guys met during the regular season. Let's go. I don't have the latest league file. Did the Rams and Bengals play? I don't see it. While we're waiting, though, I can go grab it. Ed's going to listen in. Drop this in the downloads. There was a disconnect, so we're just waiting for the next game ID. In the meantime, I needed to update my final league file, which I never did. So we got a new game ID. Let's get the broadcast going again. So it does not look like the Rams and Bengals met, if I'm seeing this correct. So it went down to a tiebreaker. All right, back at it again. So 2nd and 5, 45 seconds left. Bengals trailing by 10. Let's see if they still have all 3 timeouts, but I think they're pushing this with a hurry up to kind of keep them in this defense. It's a 5-yard gain guessed right by McCaffrey. Does not get out of bounds. He really could use one of these big hits on the edge, plus 45 or plus 25. Let's see who else. What other ones? If he goes off tackle, he's got a long gain on 2, plus 53 on 12, and kind of the same thing on the line bug. So with those 3 timeouts, he could run any of these zones. Nathan still, like I said, his strength is his secondary. He's got Marlon Humphreys and Bryce Callahan as 2 5-rated DBs. I remember talking to him in the offseason about trading for one of those guys, but he kind of wanted to use this defense. Slant to O.J. Howard, 4 men. 4 men in the zone. Guessed right. It's going to be plus 14 on OJ's card. He'll use his second time out here. That gets him nearly into field goal range. Take a quick look at the Bengals kicker. And he's good 2 through 9 and 12 from 23 to 32. So he kind of needs a couple more yards. But with 30 seconds left, that shouldn't be a problem. Keep an eye on this in case Dan or somebody else wants to join in, and feel free to chat. But that was nearly a sack there. It was a 19% chance, and the random roll was 22. Devin Godchow against Matt Thieler. Just got a contract. Not a contract extension, but he got some kind of like $3.5 million deal that kind of solidifies his spot as a starter. So here we go. That's for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sure Jeff is happy to start him no matter what happens with his NFL contract. 5:21 here on the West Coast. Jeff is in Alaska. Nathan's here in the Pacific time zone. Pitch out right to McCaffrey. It's a 3-3-5 defense. He switches it up. Guessed wrong, but it hits on the dreaded 5, and he loses a yard and does not get out of bounds. Double whammy. So 10 runs for 67 yards for McCaffrey. Pretty good production. But because of the interceptions and the fumbles, the Bengals find themselves trailing. The yardage and first downs are pretty similar. Third down efficiency, the Rams are 0 for 3. The Bengals are 3 for 6, yet the Rams are leading by 10. Stuck again. Yikes. I'm guessing that one of these guys doesn't have the Strat Football directory as part of the exemptions for your antivirus program. That's usually what happens when you have these kind of connection issues, or one of the coaches has a bad internet connection. That could also be part of it. We're in the SOMSFA playoffs, though, so you're willing to put up with a little bit of nonsense to make sure you catch all the action. Let's see if we get another game ID here. But let's see how these teams did in the fourth quarter while we're waiting. So heading into the playoffs, the Rams went 3-1, knocked off the Lions, lost to the Raiders, then beat the Eagles and the Vikings. The Bengals came here 2-2 in the fourth quarter. They'd actually gone 2-2 their last. Oh no, they went 1-3, and then 1-3 in quarter 3 and 2-2 in quarter 4. So they had a hot start and are kind of petering off here. Still waiting for that new number. So we went 6 minutes before we had a crash. That's not good. So let's see how many numbers we've had today. Started at 4:30. 1 number, 2 numbers, 3 numbers. So 3 crashes so far. A lot of times, too, you might want to switch up the hosts, have both coaches reboot. There's some ways you can mitigate these connection issues. Let's take a look at the SOMSFA standings. Look at the other seeds. The Dolphins. Joe Daly and his crew from Miami ended up with the number 1 seed at 13-3. Ed was the number 2 seed, also at 13-3. Let's look at the tiebreakers between them. It looks like Miami had a slightly tougher schedule because they had that Seattle team on their schedule. That's what it was. So, no, they're both pretty close. 119 and 137 for his opponents, whereas Ed's opponents were 117 and 139. The number 3 and 4 seeds are the Bears and the Seahawks. That's my team. I lost a close one to the Bears, which gave him the tiebreaker. If I would have gotten up there into the number tied at 13-3, I would have been interested to see what my tiebreaker would have done. Still waiting. That tells me that they're probably rebooting. And then who else we got? So we got two 13-3 teams, two 12-4 teams, and two 11-5 teams. Denver and New England, they just played in the fourth quarter with Denver winning that game and having the tiebreaker edge over the Pats. And then we have three teams that are 9-7. Baltimore won the tiebreaker, forcing Cincinnati and Los Angeles to play this playoff, kind of a play-in game. Ed calls it NFL or the playoffs round 1. Then we got round 2, round 3. So we don't use terms like wild card or divisional or conference championships. Although I still kind of like to do that, but so I'm guessing, like I said, one of the coaches is rebooting, unless they really didn't crash. Maybe this is gonna hang, I bet. But let's try it anyway. Yeah. So they got to be rebooting, getting themselves set up, or maybe they said, forget the spectators, we're just gonna play. In which case, this little broadcast here is not going to go anywhere. Yeah, I don't see anybody jumping in here. Oh, we got Tony P, Kurt, but we're all listening. We're waiting for that game to restart, guys. So we're kind of all stuck here. Hopefully, whatever they're doing here is going to make a difference. So let's go over while we're waiting. How do you add Stratomatic as a exception? Okay, so I'm going into my antivirus. My antivirus program. I just use Windows Defender. Let's see. So whatever one you're doing, let's go. You go to firewall. Depending on which one you're using, antivirus firewall setting, and then you can click on allow an app through Windows Firewall, and then you find your application. Let's see where Stratomatic Football is in here. Do I even have it? Maybe I don't even have it. But really what I want to do is an exception to the scanning of the antivirus, not this. I'm not having any problems, but if you were going to add another app, you would just point it to, this is if your Strat Football isn't working. So you can go to wherever your Stratomatic Football is installed and point to Stratomatic Football. Now I'm going to allow this through the firewall, and you're going to say private and public. This is you used to have to do this all the time in order for your game to work. Okay, now we have another one. So under here, under manage settings, there is this thing called exclusions. So you say, I'm going to add an exclusion. You're going to say folder. You're going to point it to the directory that your Strat Football is residing in. And you say select folder. Yes. And then there is your exclusions using Windows Defender. Okay. So let's get back to the game. That's what we really want to see. See if Jeff can get a field goal here, or maybe hit a big play at the end. Pitch out right to McCaffrey, trying to hit one of those big numbers, like I said. And, okay, so they switched hosts. Quick slant to O.J. Howard. So that end run was the last play we saw. That's going to be incomplete. Oh, so they lost the play. Because remember, that 1st and 10 before, at 37 seconds left, was an end run to McCaffrey, guessed wrong, which would have made it 2nd and 11 with 30 seconds left. So we're kind of out of sync here. This is maybe part of the problem with that into the half, where one team gets 1 second ahead of the other team on as far as game clock goes, and that causes some connectivity issues. So 2nd and 10, 22 seconds left. 17-7 Rams on top. Probably won't make any difference in this case. That one tick, and there's so little time left in the half. Spectator joins. Spectator joins. Spectator is left. Curl to Tyrell Williams. Single covered 3-minute zone. Tannehill, defender extra short game, but like we said earlier, that is the strength of Nathan's team. Lots of 5s and 6s back there. That's Byron Jones making the play, swatting that ball away, leaving it 3rd and 10 at the 34 with 15 seconds to go. So will Jeff try to run here just to get into decent field goal range? The white die was a 5, so no matter who he threw it to, unless it was one of the backs out of the backfield, it would have been incomplete. I did notice it if Nathan had double teamed McCaffrey on that previous play. So 3rd and 10, 15 seconds left. He goes to the 4-1-6. So we got a 5-5 linebacker, a 5-5 second defensive back, and a 6-6 Jamal Adams free safety. So you could stick him wherever you think he's going to run at and run left to Tannehill. He brought over the 5-5 second DB, so containment's in play. He's going to hit a short gain. Does he get the first down? No, he's just going to get down to the 25, 26. So that'll set him up for a field goal. And like I said, I don't think that missed tick made any difference because he probably would have done the same thing on 3rd down no matter when it happened. Unless Nathan got fancy and would have called run. But there you go, 17-10, and Jeff will get the ball first in the second half. So here we go. See if they take a break here, but they've had so many breaks in the action that they may want to just keep rolling. Stats are pretty similar. It's those turnovers that have really done in the Bengals. Goff has a pick too as well, but 3, a fumble and 2 interceptions. Jeff says, just 1 sec. Again, take a quick look at the ball possession in case you tuned in late like I did. The Bengals went punt, touchdown. Then they had that really bad sequence. Interception after they got close to midfield, and a fumble in their own territory. We just saw the last drive that ended in a field goal. The Rams, on the other hand, went 3 and out twice, then put together 2 good drives, one for a touchdown and one for a field goal. Throw a pick on their next possession, which interestingly ended in a turnover after only 2 plays. And actually, it looks like that fumble was not deep in Cincinnati territory. It was deep in the Rams territory because they had just thrown that pick. Then they got a touchdown right before the drive that that the Bengals got their field goal on. So here we go. Second half, Bengals get the ball down by a touchdown after that disastrous second quarter. Now this is Tannehill after his 2018 season when he was with the Dolphins. He should have a much better card next year and next set based on what he did with the Titans. Sony Michel checks into the game. Wants to give Christian McCaffrey a series off, or at least the first couple plays. His targets for Tannehill are Keenan Cole, off tackle run to Michel's only going to pick up 2. O.J. Howard, Tyler Eifert, and Tyrell Williams to go with whatever back he has in there. Of course, McCaffrey is all world, all everything. He can run, he can catch, he can do it all. And Nathan, cognizant of that, likes to use this 4-1-6 defense to get his 2 true double teams in or flood the flats with 5s and 6s instead of his outside linebackers, which are 4s and 0s, I believe. Pitch out left to McCaffrey. It's going to be get strong, and it'll pick up 6. Let's take a quick look at the box score again. The longest run for McCaffrey today has been 17 yards. Whereas for the Rams, we haven't seen the Rams have the ball yet because we just tuned in late. Marlon Mack busted off a 36-yarder. So 3rd and 2. Just getting started here in the second half. But the last thing the Bengals want to do is just go 3 and out. Now, curl to Tyrell Williams. And it's a snap fumble. It looks like the Bengals have got it back. They're going to try to advance it, and they go backwards. So they will go 3 and out. Tannehill only has a 3 out of 1,000 chance of fumbling, but he rolled a 1. 45-yard punt. Antonio Callaway's back there, and he's going to advance at 4 yards. So the Rams will take over. We'll get to see the Jared Goff-led Rams on offense. Their targets are excellent. Adam Thielen, Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce, Marquise Goodwin, and, of course, Marlon Mack, who we talked about earlier. So they go 3 wide. Jeff does have a 6 linebacker. It's an inside run to Mack. It's going to pick up 4, but he fumbles. Looks like the Bengals got it back. So that disastrous, when they advance it, down to the 20. No, it wasn't a Mack fumble. It was a snap fumble by Jared Goff. So back-to-back snap fumbles. Well, not back-to-back because there was a punt there sandwiched in between, but still. 1st and 10 at the 20. Short pattern to Tyler Eifert, covered by a 0. But it hits a blank on Tannehill's card. Let's see who we got in here. We got Ed and Kurt still hanging around. I was just kind of planning on this being maybe not really planning, but was thinking about doing a watch party here. Four, 1, 6 showing blitz on 2nd and 10. Flare right to Eifert. A 5 has been moved into the zone. Guest right's going to pick up 6. Slant to Howard, single cover by a 5 on 3rd and 4. So Nathan will slip into that 4-3 when he thinks there might be a run call, but that's a pass, and it's going right into the end zone. Defender extra short gain, and the white die was a 6, beating DJ Swearinger's 5. So just like that, we started broadcasting, it was 17-7, and it is now, pending this extra point, 17-all. There is a 27-yard return on a kick down to the 1. Corey Coleman, kind of a draft bust, but he's holding on as a returner, though I don't know if he played in 2019. Quick out right to Kelce. He's going to beat the linebacker. He does have a 6 linebacker, but he threw it to the other side, which is, I think it has a 5 rated linebacker there. And he goes for 30, so right away the Rams are back in territory. That's Darius Leonard's a 5'5". Fred Warner in the middle, 5'4". And KJ Wright, the old veteran, hanging on with a 6'4" on the other outside. Inside run to Mack. Guess Strong's going to pick up 6, even though he was 3 wide. It was not a white die 1. It was a white die 3, which means this guy's strong still. White die 1 minute guessed right, and would have only been a 3-yard gain. So Greg the Leg is the Rams kicker. I think he's got pretty good range in this set. 2nd and 4. But Nathan's not looking for the field goal. He's looking for a touchdown. It's going to be a 9-yard pickup. The defensive tackle there, Darius Philon, is a 4, reduced to a 0. It's a 4-5. Inside run to Mack again. He's just going to keep pounding that. It's going to pick up 17 down to the 10-yard line. Marlon Mack, 13 runs for 117 yards. So Jeff's up against it here, trying to defend against all those good receiving targets, but he's getting gutted up the middle. See, he has 4 defensive tackles, so no matter which one he plays, the nose are going to get reduced to a 0. So he switches to a 4-2-5. We'll see if that switches up what Nathan wants to call, or if he'll stick with the ball on the ground. Quick slant to Kelsey. That's going to only pick up a yard. So that shift was good. Slowed down the momentum somewhat. 2nd and goal at the 9. Goff 10 of 14 today for 161, a touchdown and a pick. Half of those completions have gone to Kelsey, 5 for 57. Nathan switches to a full house. Mack is joined by Dion Lewis, who can catch the ball at the backfield. And Ricky Ortiz. He's got a good pass block rating. I don't see any asterisk pass rushers, though, for inside run to Mack. Guess Strong is going to roll the dreaded 5. So big play here, 3rd and 9. Okay, here we go. Malcolm Brown checks into the game. He's got a pretty nifty end run card. Jeff answers with a 4-2-5 off tackle right to Malcolm Brown. He goes for the off tackle column. He has a few less chances to get it in the end zone, but he lands on the D card regardless. So that's going to be time for Greg Zuerlein to give the Rams back the lead. This will make it 20-17, but it's bad. Kick is blocked. The Bengals have recovered the ball. 2 through 10, the field goal would have been good, but instead it was a 12. Those are killers. Pitch out left to Sony Michel. It's going to pick up 5. Pitch out left to Sony Michel. That's going to lose 2 yards. That'll make it 3rd and 7. DJ Reader makes a stop. No crashes since whatever they did before halftime. Knock on wood. Hope I'm not jinxing it. McCaffrey comes to the game. And Nathan switches to a 4-1-6. So let's see what he does with those two extra guys. Crossing pattern to Cobb, guess right. Covered by a 5. 4-minute zone is going to hit on Tannehill's card for plus 10. So 1st and 10 to the Bengals. Off tackle guessed wrong. Michelle picks up 13. That'll be another first down. So back-to-back first downs for the Bengals, and now they're nearing midfield. Pitch out left, and Michelle's going to lose 4. As Nathan guesses it right. Would have been a 5-yard gain. So a little 9-yard shift in field position. Michelle, 7 runs for only 22 yards. Nathan with a 4-3 here, sideline right to Keelan Cole. I think I called him Keenan earlier. And that's going to be incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 14. So after this game, we'll have 8 teams left in the SOMSFA playoffs. 4-1-6 for Nathan. It's an innovative concept on defense. You have weak outside linebackers, which is becoming more and more common in these sets, but a strong secondary, which you'll get with these nickel corners. Why not try something like this? Quick slant to O.J. Howard being double covered by a DB, so that'll be incomplete on his card. Would have been -1 even if it was guessed right. Even guessed wrong, it wouldn't have gotten the first by itself. So here's the punt. So Nathan survives the missed field goal. He's going to get the ball back with about 2:42 to go. Mack and Ortiz in the backfield. No, excuse me, it's going 3 wide with Mack and Goodwin. Goodwin replacing Ortiz, which is a good move, yardage-wise. Really good move. Inside run to Mack. He's going to go back to pounding it on the ground. Mack's going to pick up 13 thanks to those 0-rated defensive tackles. 15 runs for 130 yards and a touchdown. .206 to go. Corners for inside random back. The corners for the Bengals are their weak spot, along with that nose tackle, which is really a defensive tackle, but you know what I'm saying. Their linebackers are their strength, whereas the Rams linebackers are their weakness. A little cat and mouse game going on here. 2nd and 5, 1:30 to go in the third quarter. Inside run to back, another pass call. That's only going to pick up 2, though, as it was looking for a block by the right guard. And his 4 was reduced to a 0, thanks to the formation. So 1-4 at the center for pass blocking. The rest are centers, or the rest are either 7s or 5s. In this formation, all those 4s are reduced to 0, so really it's a 5-0-0-0. And another 0 on top of that for the run block. 3rd and 3, coming up to the end of the third quarter. Jeff switches it to a 4-2-5. You can bet he's going to bring that free safety down to the look-in zone. It's going to be a bomb to Marquise Goodwin. Double covered by the outside linebacker, but on the receiver, it's Guest Wright still, and it's going to hit a blank, incomplete. I had a game today earlier in another league, Spring Fever, where the guy had Marquise Goodwin and Kyle Juszczyk and hit long pass receiver readings on snake eyes for both of them. 67 yards for Goodwin and like 52 for Juszczyk. So here's the punt. This will be the penultimate play of the third quarter. 11-yard return, so the Bengals will take over at the 29. McCaffrey, how many carries does he have left? 12 carries left, so he's in good shape carries-wise. Forget about Sony Michel. Let's just see McCaffrey, who's a dual threat. 4-1-6 for Nathan. This will be the last play of the third quarter. Pitch out left to McCaffrey. It's going to pick up 5. And it'll be 2nd and 5 as we begin the fourth quarter. Just keep running McCaffrey. Guess wrong if he stays in the 4-1-6. You're bound to hit one of those big numbers at some point. And if you don't, you get a first down every other play. As long as you land on your own card. Nathan may be sensing that, so he switches to a 4-3. So these are his starting outside linebackers that he's replacing with 5s. Button hook to McCaffrey. They're keying McCaffrey. That'll be guessed wrong. And that'll be a short gain for 14 yards. So they replace the 4 and the 0 at outside linebacker with 2 5s. 4-0-6 and Dante Fowler. 0-4-7 and Matt Judon, who can play at 4-7 on the line. So he might come over there and play right end. Screened left to McCaffrey. Eifert being doubled. It's going to pick up 5 on Tannehill's card. That'll be 2nd and 5 again. The Bengals slowly moving the ball down the field. A 4-3 defense, square out left. Guess wrong. Forward linebacker there. And that's going to be a 15-yard pickup. So Nathan moving away from the 4-1-6. It was working for him, but he just doesn't want to give up the runs. Guessed wrong. Maybe sensing that plus 45 is coming. Tannehill today, 20 of 30 for 161, a touchdown and 2 picks. Quick into Eifert. Guessed wrong, but there's 2 men there. And it's going to hit a receiver reading on the D card with 2 men in zone and pick up 10 down to the 22. Long drive here for the Bengals.
You want your phone, Ted?
Huh?
You want your phone?
Yeah, what's up?
I wanted to play.
I don't like this.
The
Mullen Goss,
emojis?
incomplete pass there. No, what that says right there.
Hashtag.
I don't like that.
Why? It's just a meme.
I know it's just a meme, but it's not my favorite. Play it right to Eifert. And that's going to be one man in zone for a 1 yard gain. 3rd and 9. That is a good song, though. Got some nice sentimental tone there. My son tried to keep me up to breast in all things internet, teaching me about all the memes.
This is a very old meme, dude.
All the memes. So here we go, 3rd and 9. 4-1-6 against a 3 wide. Keelan Cole is joined by Randall Cobb as a third wide receiver. So we got Cole, Cobb, Tyrell Williams, O.J. Howard, and Christian McCaffrey. Bomb to Randall Cobb. Double covered, though. And that'll be complete. Time for a field goal. And here comes Harrison Butker. So that was a nice long drive, but it only ended in 3 points. Assuming he doesn't roll a 12 after Nathan just had a long drive that ended in a missed field goal. He does not. So it's 2017 Bengals. But the Rams got to feel good about avoiding giving up the touchdown. They tightened up when they needed to. And they'll get the ball at the 35. So 3 wide for Nathan. He's going to try to ram it up the gut with Dion Lewis. It is going to be up the gut. That's only going to pick up 2. Lewis is not quite as effective as Marlon Mack. Mack has 3 carries left only. Same formations. Screen right to Mack. And complete. 5 linebacker Darius Leonard was there. So 3rd and 8 here. Nathan trailing. Inside run to Malcolm Brown. That's only going to pick up 1, and he fumbles. Looks like the Rams got it back, though. Try to advance it, and they get to the first down marker. Look at that. Larry Warford. You talked about him earlier not making a block. Well, he just may have saved the game for the Rams. Rumbling and stumbling and bumbling down to the Ram 46-yard line on 3rd and 8 after a fumble recovery. That's getting the crowd into it. Well, I guess the crowd isn't into it because they're in Cincinnati, but gets me into it now. Inside run to Mack is going to go on his cards on a white die 1. He's going to lose a yard. Short gain if it would have been a white die 2 or 3. We're down to 8:42 to go in the game. 2nd and 11. Will he keep it on the ground, or will he start to open it up a bit? Those 3 big targets on the outside are covered by zeros and a 4. It's going to be another inside run to Mac. It's going to pick up 6. That'll bring up 3rd and 5. He wants to stick with it working. He wants it on the D card because they keep giving up those defensive tackle readings. 8:06 to go in the game. We're coming down the stretch. Malcolm Brown in the game. Not going to get help from his run blocking, but like I said, he wants it on the D card. He's going to keep it on the ground. Center plus 12 or plus 4. He only gets the 4, of course, because Cody Whitehair's 4 is reduced to a 0. So will he go 3 wide again? You know he's going for it. 7:30 to go in the game. You know, other coaches may punt here to try to pin you deep, get you to go 3 and out, but I think Nathan's going to go for it. He trusts his offense. You know he trusts his offense. He just ran it on 3rd and 5 in a key spot. And that was Mac's penultimate carry before fatigue. So 1 more carry for him, and then he has to deal with fatigue. Will it be here? Jeff switches it to a 4-3. Now that's going to give him a pass to the look-in zone without a chance of it being double covered. But there is a 5 there, so let's see what he does. Will he run it up the middle? If you get one of these defensive tackle readings, you have the 2/3 chance of making it, even in this formation. But you get in these where you need a block, you're still going to get 1 on these, but this is going to be a 0. Those defensive tackles, if a 4 comes up, that could stop you. If you put somebody in the zone, the linebacker in the zone, he's a 5-4. Mac guessed right is going to be over 50% to make it. It's going to be a sneak to Goff. Blocking back +2 or +0. That's a bad roll for Nathan because there is no blocking back in the game in that spot. Even without somebody there, I don't know. If he wouldn't have stuffed the zone, it would have been a 1st down. Big play there, and now the Bengals get the ball back near midfield with a chance to take a 2-score lead, which would be huge in the spot. You know Joe D is interested in this game. He's going to play the winner. Quick slant to O.J. Howard. The linebacker in the zone, and that zone is a 5, and that's Deion Jones. He makes the play. 2nd and 10. McCaffrey checks in. No more 4-1-6 gadget defense. He's going with the 4-3, which gives him 2 areas he has to keep an eye on, the left linebacker and the right linebacker. It's a screen left to McCaffrey. There's a 4 there. That's also the man in the zone and the man covering. That's going to pick up 6. That'll leave us at 3rd and 4. 6:18 to go in the game. 23 of 36 for Tannehill so far. If Nathan gets a stop here, he's been moving the ball up and down the field. Just falling a little short. Pretty close stats. But it's been more on the ground for the Rams and more in the air for the Bengals. A guessed wrong end run here on McCaffrey's card is almost a sure 1st down. But you're risking running into these 6s and 5s on the D line. It is going to be a pitch out. Guess wrong. Run to McCaffrey. And a 5-yard pickup and a 1st down. Guessed right would have been no gain. So let's see if he keeps it on the ground here with McCaffrey. Tries to milk some of this clock. 5:42 to go. He's about 2 first downs away from field goal range. Four-three with Nathan against the blocking back halfback set. Off tackle right to McCaffrey. He gets the dreaded 5. Best thing about that play for the Bengals is it takes some time off the clock. Went from 5:42 to 5:06. The Bengals have shut out the Rams in the second half. After that disastrous second quarter, they've righted the ship defensively. Or I should say offensively, they've been able to hang on to the ball. That's really been the big difference. Pitch out left to McCaffrey, a run call. Offensive onside in +9 or +4. It's going to pick up 4. It'll be 3rd and 6 at the 40. A completed short pass here will get him into field goal range and a new set of downs. Four 1-6 coming in the game. Slant to O.J. Howard, correctly double teamed by one of the extra DBs, and that'll bring up 4th and 6. 4:12 left. He's going to try to pin him deep. Looks like that's going to be a good number for him. And he does pin him inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. Or the 2-yard line, excuse me. 3:54 to go. Coming down to the end. 3-3-5 against the 2 tight end set. I believe that's legal. You have to do that within the last 5 minutes, I believe. Inside run to Mac. You know he's going to pump that up. It's only going to pick up 2, though. Just to be sure, let's look at the Constitution. Constitution. Yep, so the last 5 minutes in the fourth quarter and all of overtime. 2nd and 8. 3:18 to go. Dion Lewis checks in as Marlon Mack is now fatigued. Quick slant to Kelsey, single cover. It's going to pick up 13 big yards. Move the ball down to the 17-yard line. Let's take a look at Zerline's field goal card. He usually has a nice leg, and he's 2 through 6 and 12 out to the 39. Okay, we're far away from that, but it's going to get here quicker than you think. 2:42 to go. Fourth quarter. 1st and 10. Pitch out right to Dion Lewis, and that's going to lose 2. As the defensive end is a 5, and he made the play against the white die 5. That's Leonard Williams. 2nd and 12. Everything is magnified here at the end of the game. You know, you have a play like that in the first quarter, no big deal. But here in the fourth quarter, approaching 2 minutes, it is a big deal. 2:06 to go. Nathan sticks with a 2 tight end set with Dion Lewis as the back. He's got 2 6 tackles, which makes you think he's going to run the ball. DJ Humphries comes out of there when he's in the 3 wide formation. Off tackle right to Lewis, guessed wrong. That'll pick up 6 to make it 3rd and 6. So he's begging for the white die to be a 4, 5, or 6. So he can go on the D card and get those defensive tackle readings, +0 or +13, those types of readings. So 2 minutes to go, 3rd and 6. 4 down territory here for Nathan. Still quite a ways away from field goal range, even though Zerline's it's got a pretty good leg. So he goes with Malcolm Brown here. Bomb to Marquise Goodwin. He's being double covered by a linebacker. It's going to be a dump off for 7 yards. Good time for that from Nathan's perspective. Let's see, does he get out of bounds? He does not. That was a no second high linebacker. Dump off. Five-yard pickup on an end run to Marlon Mack. He does not get out of bounds. Rams will use their second timeout, I think. They used their first one after that other previous play. Time is of the essence. Nope, he just goes hurry up. So 1:30 to go. Deliberate pace here. Off tackle right to Mack. And that's going to pick up 20 yards. That's what he's looking for. Land me on the D cards, he says. And that's not only going to give him new life and new hope, it's going to put more pressure on the Bengals as one more first down and he's in, 40% field goal range. And he's got to defend that end zone. Two tight end set. Eric Ebron comes into the game. Inside run to Mack against the 3-3-5 is going to pick up 2 only. That's the one roll on the D card. He doesn't want to have anything to do with his own offensive line. So offensive center, offensive right guard, offensive left guard. He doesn't want to see those. But he does want to see the middle rolls or the rolls against the defensive tackles. 1 minute left. The Rams used their second timeout there, trailing by 3 at the Bengals 46. 3 wide. Second and 8, he goes to a 3-2-6, not worrying about Dion Lewis running the ball. Nathan's going to try to take advantage of that and just run it, but every time you run it, you burn clock that an incomplete pass wouldn't burn. So we'll see what happens. But he's basically daring him to run the ball. Inside run draw to Lewis, so he does run it. Hoping to hit that 7 or 8 here. And he does hit the 7, 15 yards into field goal range. And he'll take a timeout here with 52 seconds left, I believe. Nope, he goes hurry up, 37 seconds left. Saving that timeout for the field goal chance. But he's got a chance here to put it in the end zone and end the game. He also goes hurry up because he pins the Bengals in a 3-2-6, which they may or may not want to use. Can take a shot over the top to Goodwin or Schuster, covered by zeros, or Thielen covered by a 4, or even Kelsey on a flat pass trying to catch him with nobody in one of these zones. since he'll be worried more about the deep pass. 37 seconds left. Full set of downs here, 1st and 10. He keeps it on the ground inside run draw to Lewis. He's going to pick up 6. Hurry up with 15 or timeout with 30 or spike it with 22. He's down to the 25. Goff is a plus 30 on 4. Hindsight. You're worried if you go up top, you're going to throw a pick. 30 seconds left. 2nd and 4. The Bengals have 25 yards of territory to defend. Screen left to Lewis, thinking that the guy, KJ Wright, was going to move off double team, and it's an interception split. But luckily for Nathan, it hits a blank. If he had gone deep there, I still don't think it would have been a pick, but we'll check it after he sets his formation here. 22 seconds left on 3rd and 4. He might kick the field goal here because if he doesn't get the first down and he's tackled inbounds, like on a sack or on a dump off that only goes 3 yards, he won't be able to spike it. And if he lets the clock run out, he won't be able to get his field goal team on in time. So interesting decision here. Okay, let's take a look at Zerline's card. If you get a first down, you can spike it, no problem. He stays like that's the problem right here. Zerline's 2 through 6, 11 and 12 from the 23 all the way to the 39. So he needs to get to the 22-yard line. He goes with a 2 tight end set. Now, if he runs it here and doesn't get out of bounds, that's going to be a disaster. I mean, if he doesn't get the first down and doesn't get out of bounds. I guess you can get the fall short. If you get out of bounds, you're still okay to kick a field goal, of course. Let's see what he does here. Again, if you run it up the middle and you don't get that first down, you're in trouble. You get that roll. We saw guard +7 or +2. You get only 2 yards and you're in bounds. That's bad. Not a lot of pass rush here, so maybe he won't feel bad about trying to go up top. No dump offs either. Darius Leonard is the only one you have to worry about from a pass rush standpoint. If he brings him in on a linebacker blitz, it's going to be a run to Kelsey. Guessed wrong. And it misses on Goff's card. No sack chance either way. But if he had guessed right and got like a short must run, that could have been dangerous. So now we got Zerline 23 to 32. He's 2 through 6, 11 and 12. Sounds like a 50-50 field goal chance. So here we go to tie the game. If he misses it, it's over. The home crowd's making noise. See if he'll ice the kicker. He decides not to, and look at that. Greg the Leg gets the favorable adjustment on the variable field goal chance, and it's good. -5. Either way, that would have been good no matter what. 2 through 6, 11, and 12, remember? So 5 roll is good. Did the Bengals have a big returner? I don't think so. He goes for the squib kick. Oh, there is a Puji Kota.
Tell Ryder to stop being
1 second left in the regulation. This is going on a 2-hour game here. They started at 4:30. See if Tannehill tries to go deep. He's at 4 without a double team. So I don't think you're going to see that. Guys, I think I'm going to have to wrap it up here. I didn't expect this to go so long. Thought I'd just watch a little bit, but this slow pace of play, I'll let it record. But this is definitely taking longer than I expected. Technical difficulties notwithstanding. They're just playing slow. It's a fly to Tyrell, double covered, and that's incomplete. So overtime for these two teams. And it looks like the Bengals will get the ball first. Let's see, who's on the broadcast? Is there nobody there that can take over? Doesn't look like it. All right, I'm just going to let this record. Go check on the fam. I'll talk to you guys later.
be inside again. Yeah. Medic!
Well, it looks like a no good field goal with under 2 minutes left in the first overtime. At the 40, that means he was at the 33. And so he needed a positive yardage adjustment, but he missed it. The field goal roll of 9.
Okay, Mom, how many can I have if I have popcorn as well? Mom, how am I angering you? I'm just asking a simple question. Are you okay?
Boy.
Yeah. How?
Hunter called me a boy.
Called you a boy?
Yeah, she said that boy is my teacher.
Get out of here. Get
Tell her
out of here.
What?
Finally.
That's the place where you
After
kill the
2 hours.
dragon.
After 2 hours of gameplay, I finally got out of here. 2 hours of gameplay. Those auras.
Think I'm a player?
Hey, where is it? Who's alright? Yo, I got Ultar. It does 28 damage.
They deserved it or it never happened. That is the question. Who do you think I'm talking about?
Bro, you want to ask me?
What?
I'm a werewolf now in this game.
What's up?
I'm a werewolf in this game.
What does that mean?
I'm just a werewolf. Coming! Happen. Did you just die?